You're listening to an Airwave Media podcast.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. This is Ken, joined in the studio by Jeff and Neal. Hey guys.
What's up?
How's it going?
We're hot off the tails of 350.
Yeah, hot off the tails of 350. That was last week. Hopefully everyone enjoyed our live event recording from G-Man Tavern.
Yeah, I hope everybody who was there too also enjoyed the live environment. I thought that went pretty well.
Yeah, we met a lot of really cool people for the first time. Too many to name, but all those that came that have never been to a Triviality event before or have been on an episode, that was really cool to meet everyone.
Yeah, super fun. And once again, thank you for coming out and listening to 350.
Yeah, we'll see what we'll do for 400.
And so, Neal, usually we offer great guests on this podcast, correct?
We try to every week.
Now, today's a little different because we have amazing guests.
That's true.
Yeah.
Some great surprises for everyone today on this episode. Our first surprise is...
Sorry.
I know, I wouldn't do Taylor Cook like that, but...
No, I was going to say, I agree. They are amazing guests, but Serious Ken has his glasses on over there, and he's sipping his coffee, and he's very relaxed sounding, and so I just didn't know where the enthusiasm was.
I took a nap before I came,
okay.
so yeah. I passed out hard on accident, and it went about half an hour longer than I anticipated. So
those at home can't see all the sleep just dripping from Ken's eyes. But yeah, we have some very special surprise guests for you today. Our first surprise is someone who basically sees almost every game that is released on Triviality. If you're a host, you probably have interacted with him before. And we are so grateful for him not only being a moderator on our Discord channel, but also basically a moderator on all the games that are put in front of us. And yeah, coming to us from Massachusetts, the King Playtester himself, Oakland 5 supporter on Patreon, Louie DeRoxas. How are you, Louie?
great.
I am doing well. Great, quite the intro. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, it's always special when we get to hang out with you, but it's just super special today. We haven't seen you in a long time, and you get to be a player today. You don't have to worry about play testing or anything, and you get to see these questions live. So remind people at home a little bit about yourself, and we're happy to have you here.
Yeah, no, definitely. So my name's Louie. I am from Massachusetts, originally Vermont. I've been on the show on a Patreon bonus. I've hosted one episode. I was on the community special, but I've never actually been a player for like the general feed. So this will be a first for me. So,
Nice. Should be fun.
Yeah, so I'm definitely excited. I think besides you guys, I've had over like 40 mentions on the podcast. I am keeping count. I have a whole Spotify playlist. I got a Spotify playlist that has all the ones where I'm like mentioned by name. So like those always rank really high for me. So,
That's
but
awesome.
so that's probably over 40 times I've been mentioned. And I've even told you guys, if I'm being mentioned too much, just cut me out, but it's going to be tough cutting me out of this one. So
Well, you're basically, for Seinfeld fans, you're the equivalent of Ruthie Cohen, the cashier at Monk's, who's on the most episodes other than the main four. So that's what you're becoming. And now you're going to have to ride a horse and not give us a $20 bill back at some point. But yeah, no, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a Patreon supporter and all that you do in the Discord. And everyone else who helps out Louie playtest games, we cannot thank you enough for all of your help. But speaking of games today, Louie did definitely not read this game because our host couldn't give him the game, because otherwise it wouldn't be a surprise to him. So we'd love to introduce someone who's been on the show before, hosting several times. We'll have to get her on as a guest pretty soon. Coming to us from St. Petersburg, Florida, a Rules Guy impersonator on Patreon, Anne Putnam. How are you, Anne?
Ahoy, hoy. I'm back, you guys. I've missed you so much.
Back with a vengeance. So remind folks at home about yourself and tell us what you've been up to.
Well, I feel like I haven't seen you guys in over a year because I mean, since the last time I've been on, Neal's married.
Mm-hmm.
Both, I mean, Ken, Jeff, and I all went to Japan, not together, and I take that personally. I got engaged like 3 days ago. So that's
congrats.
Oh, congrats.
Gosh, and I mean, I got a new job. Like we've a lot has happened since the last I've seen you all, and I assume Matt moved again. I just assume that's what he did.
He kind of moved through the world like
He's doing a nomad land sort of thing.
Yeah, just across the country. A little motorcycle, like a little pan of coffee or something. Yeah.
Can't
So,
wait
yeah,
for
it
Matt's big pooping scene.
Got his knapsack tied to a stick. Am I on the right?
His Matt stick.
But yeah, since the last time, I mean, a lot of time. Japan was amazing. I loved hearing you guys talk about it because I could relate to some comments. And Neal, I'm sure I'll solicit you for wedding advice or things like that. But yeah, I'm still down here in St. Petersburg, Florida, and still a local trivia host. And I am super, super excited about this game and very happy to finally meet the great and powerful Louie in person. This is a big deal.
It's a lot of hype.
What a jam.
I'm going to let everyone down. I will let everyone down. I do not retain all the info I get from playtesting. So,
well, what a jam-packed episode we have today. We have the special moment of you getting engaged, and we have Louie here for the first time as a regular contestant. It's going to be a great one today, I think. Let's pick teams before we start. So, Ken, you wanted to partner with me, but we kind of base our name off of Jeff, who is going to be partnering with Louie today. So, Louie, what team name did you choose?
Because Jeff and I both play Magic, a little bit of Commander, some EDH, we chose Mana Dorks. We did have a lot of choices here. You know, there's Cyclonic Gifts, Rhystic Students, Sensei's Dividing Bottoms, but I think Mana Dorks. I think Mana Dorks is probably the best all-around team name for us.
So knowing you guys were going to do a magic pun, we decided to do a classic magic pun as well, and we're going to be Urtai Wizard Inept.
I don't know what that means, but I'll just go along with it. Let's go to the rules where Mr. Garfield, I think it is, Jeff, who created Magic, he's going to read the rules for us.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
I am the cream. Yeah. The cream of the crop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dr. Richard Garfield.
Doesn't get name dropped a lot, but
No.
there it is.
Hates Mondays, loves Magic.
So shall we dig right in?
Yeah, let's do it. I know, and it's a special themed game. If you want to explain that real quick, and we'll get going.
Sure. Ironically, I wrote this game before it had an even more special meaning. The theme of this game is based around the 2 favorite men in my life, my now fiance and my father, Bob. They're both terribly interesting in their own right, and I figured it would generate some original questions because I've hosted 2 games now with questions that are in my wheelhouse. So I'm trying to break away from Muppets questions and Duran Duran.
Too bad.
So this game, exactly. I'm sorry, Ken. This game will either feel lovey-dovey or potentially like creepy Electra complex. I'm not really sure, but let's just roll with it. And it may also be terrible because Louie didn't play test it. So we'll see.
That's right.
So not to make you nervous, Anne, but I will be live playtesting this as we go through it.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Please take notes and send them in the chat. So more or less for the categories, I asked both my father and my fiance slightly ambiguous prompt questions related to like typical trivia categories. Some are going to be answered by a millennial and the other by a boomer, so there's variety. It won't always be obvious who answered the question, so if you need an extra hint, you can always ask me, or we can just have the mystery to make it more fun.
Okay.
And that's the theme. So if you're ready, I can roll into question round 1.
Let's do it.
All right. Number 1, the category is going to be, is there any band or artist that would put out new music that you would be inclined to purchase? Your music question. Claudio Sanchez, the frontman of what band, created a series of science fiction comic books and novels where each chapter is also represented by one of the band's albums. These comics focus on the fictional conflict of the Armory War.
Me and Neal are locked in independently.
Do you have any idea, Jeff?
I feel like I've heard this.
I feel like I've heard it also. It's like I know what Gerard Way does Umbrella Academy. So there's definitely some kind of thing with frontmen of bands and doing comic books. But Claudio Sanchez isn't ringing a bell for me.
August Burns Red.
Perfect. Love it. Let's do it.
So
I don't know anything about that band.
The emo kid in question has quite large hair, correct?
Ding, 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 ding. Yes, he does.
We're going to go with Coheed
really?
and Cambria.
Oh.
Coheed and Cambria is your answer. And that was my dad. No, I'm just kidding. That was not my dad. My dad would enjoy them, though, if he knew how to work any sort of music playing thing.
Welcome home, Neal.
I think they're on vinyl. I'm sure.
Yeah, that's a very good point. All right. Well done, guys. I feel like Ken and Neal knew that within 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Your next question. What is a novel that you have read more than once? Your literature question. What 1966 Hugo Award-winning novel has 5 sequels written by the original author and over a dozen additional novels written by his son? The names of the planets from this novel have been adopted into real-life feature nomenclature on Saturn's moon Titan, and the novel has been called the first planetary ecology novel on a grand scale.
We're locked in.
I don't know. My clue into this, I think, is that his son carried it on, which I believe is the Dune series.
Yeah, that sounds about right, especially since Ken knew it so fast.
I know things.
Yep.
He could have locked in with 2001.
You like Dune.
I do like Dune, but, I know other things.
Or I think
so
we're just
I'm
Dune.
good. I'm good with Dune.
Are you sure?
Dune's good.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we said Dune.
The book centers around metaphors for resource scarcity due to overpopulation in relation to the ecology. So that is Dune. Dune is your answer.
Shai Hulud.
Is it the
Yeah.
Allspice, or am I thinking of the Allspark from from Transformers?
Mixing a couple things.
Yeah,
in.
it's just spice.
Just Spice. Okay.
Protect the Allspark.
Melange.
And much
Your
like Dune,
third
this episode is directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Mm-hmm.
We just need more sand.
Oh,
And,
Is that why we're
our guest
all in,
today
like-
is Timothy Chalamet.
we're all very yellow. Is that why?
There's a filter on this
Our
entire
friend
podcast.
Brian did the call correction on this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3. You have an open menu. What drink do you order? Your food and drink question. Due to a childhood bout of hepatitis A, Bob has never been a big drinker. But if he were forced to partake in a pub trivia setting, his go-to would be what type of lager that originated in the Czech Republic and is the flagship style for Stella Artois, Heineken, and Pacifico.
That's what I wrote down.
All right. I think meal.
Meal. I am a meal.
Meal is me and Neil.
Yeah,
Neil,
not
you're a
just
snack. I don't know.
Full meal.
Well, thank you.
Neil the meal.
It's about time we brought meal back.
Meal. Yeah, that started because we went to a restaurant as a friend group, and I wasn't getting my food, and I was like, "Do you have an order for Neil?" And she, "Oh, meal. Yes, we have Meal's order right here."
Wow.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I believe Neil and I will lock in.
Are these Pilsners?
I think that's a good guess. Yeah, for the style, yeah, Stella Artois, Heineken, Pacifico. I think Pilsner's a fine guess.
Okay. I don't know beer, so we're going to guess
Yeah.
Pilsner.
When I think of Czechia and beer, I think of Pils or Kel.
Oh yes,
And
right.
Of course, the Pils stands for Pilsner.
Brother of Steve.
Nice.
So we're going to say Pilsner.
I don't have a microphone to do the pop like that, but it is. My dad is a simple man. He just loves his Pilsners. That's the go-to at a pub trivia setting. And yes, they check beer is correct, Ken, but I cannot pronounce it. So thank you for doing it.
Not just his favorite beer, it's
It's
also
the same as like Stefan or Kel, right?
Teddy
That's
from
right.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
He does love a Pilsner. That's right.
Question number 4. Name a TV show that reminds you of your childhood. Your TV question.
Breaking Bad.
From 1996 to the year 2000, Nickelodeon ran what sketch comedy show co-created by the writers of The Adventures of Pete and Pete? Hosted by Henry and June, the show featured shorts and cartoons titled Action League Now, Prometheus and Bob, and Sniz and Fondue.
Yeah, Louie, we're locked in. At first I thought this
Yeah,
was
we're
an all
locked in.
that question, but we're good.
Yep.
All right.
I thought the
So,
same. We're good.
yeah, since I thought it was all that, but since we're talking about the Action League, what's it called? The Action League Now,
Prometheus and Bob.
I think it ran like sketch like animated shorts.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Kablam.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right. Yeah, because all that I think was a little bit earlier. I don't think it went till 2000. It had to have been like maybe 93 to 97 or something. Yeah, I'm good with Kablam.
Yeah, and Kablam had that great theme song by the Toasters.
That's right.
So we're gonna go with Kablam.
Yep, we figured that's the birth of Ken's love of ska. We said Kablam.
And you took all of my flavor text, but it was the very first spinoff of all that. It is Kablam. I loved Prometheus and Bob. That was
So did I.
so good.
Action League now.
I think Chalk Zone also got its start from Kablam. And
That's
it's a
interesting.
complete spinoff. So that's cool.
Can we unwrap a little bit about your childhood Breaking Bad similarities here? Did you watch someone OD on heroin or?
No,
little
one
dark,
time my mom got really mad at me, so she threw my pizza on the
cooked
roof.
meth.
That's all it was.
His mom cooked meth. Yeah. No wonder every time. That's why we always see her. You think that she's
Jeff walked in the house. He said, "Somebody's been cooking here."
All right. So we're at question 5, which I'm a traditional girl. Usually question 5 is that listener submitted question. So I had limited choices. So I went to my mom. So my mom answered the what I'm kind of a ringer for. So I was like, what was the most impressive thing your partner has done? And my dad is no fool. So this question is about babies. Your question. In fertilization, eggs can produce hormones that help decide which sperm are the most viable, in a way giving the egg the choice of genetic material to develop a baby. How many times larger to the nearest 1,000 is the egg compared to its companion sperm?
Well, that sounds like a Jeff question. I don't know about the numbers on that one.
Shoot. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh,
Hold
okay.
on.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I messed up. It wasn't my mom who submitted this question. Actually, it was Audrey Thompson. She submitted it. There's a bonus question.
Okay.
There's a bonus. Let me read the bonus real quick. How many times larger will Louie's house need to be now that Audrey is pregnant with their first child?
Are you kidding me? Wait. Hold on. She's in the house with me right now.
Go get her.
Is this how you're this is how you're announcing? What? Are you serious?
Yay!
Congratulations.
Do you want to say hi? This is my wife, Audrey.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, Audrey. Congratulations.
Congrats.
She can't hear you because I have the headset on, but they say congrats. Wow, so we're
To you.
Surprise!
To you both.
I don't know how I'm supposed to concentrate on the rest of the page. So
It was all a ploy.
And I didn't know you were gonna put it like in the middle. I thought it was gonna be towards.
I know
the
it
end.
was
Oh my
towards
gosh.
the beginning. Sorry.
so it's so funny because like you start asking the question. I'm like, Audrey, she just talked to me about this. I was like, this is really strange. It's like, wow, okay. well, thank you. Oh my gosh.
So what's the answer? I'm just
Amazing.
kidding.
Oh yeah, good question. Can I phone a friend?
Not a real question, but
Oh my gosh.
I mean but it is 10 million times in case you're curious.
Yeah, it's a little.
10 million times.
I was gonna be a million short at least.
I said there was going to be some
Oh my
surprises
gosh.
at the top of the episode. So there you go. And Audrey reached out
wow.
and told us she wanted to do this. We thought it would be so much fun. And thank you to Anne for helping play along and devise that with us.
Yeah.
Well, if
my
you need
gosh.
a couple minutes, Louie, we're thank
No,
you.
I think we're good. I think we're okay to keep going, but I will be on like another level right now. So it's just
Thank
It's
you to
amazing.
Audrey for letting us be a part of that. That was
Yes,
amazing.
I'm shocked.
they say thank you. So
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
oh my gosh.
Sorry, man. It was
man.
brilliant. It was a brilliant idea. She knows you're a fan.
Yeah, I was like, wow. I was like, man, how do you know Anne? How do you know the guys? I have so many questions.
don't know how to get back into the game now.
I don't either.
Let's go right into it.
Start with question 5.
Yeah.
Real
man.
question.
Louis has
real
so many
question
questions,
five.
but not as many as you do, because we still have about 25, 30. So we're excited.
Oh my gosh.
Congrats, man. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
Now you get to be amped for the rest
You
of the game.
you have done so much, I think, to support us that it would be grossly unfair to have not helped in that surprise. So thank you.
No. Thank you guys so much. This is very special. So,
And
no,
it's
definitely
recorded
appreciate it.
for.
Yeah, now you'll have to have this as your top one on Spotify.
Yeah, this is your pinned,
Yeah,
your
this-
number one pinned podcast.
Yep, we're just gonna play this for the baby over and over again. It's
Get them downloads.
Amazing.
Hi, Ken McNeil.
Ken McNeil.
Oh, God.
We'll put it on the list. We'll see.
The real question 5, nothing to do. I didn't ask anybody. I didn't ask anybody. Number 5, what is a movie you can or have watched over and over? Your film question. AFI's 100 Years, 100 Movie Quotes list was first revealed in 2005. A jury of 1,500 film artists and critics made the list. It would probably be a bit different today, potentially ousting some of what movie's 6 quotes that landed on the list at numbers 5, 20, 28, 32, 43, and 67. This movie has the most of any film on the list, with Gone with the Wind and Wizard of Oz coming in second with 3 quotes each. I do have a hint if you need it. I don't know how much it will help.
Yeah, I don't have any big clues into this. I think, quotable movies. There's a lot that stand out, but I don't know if there's something comes to you immediately.
So I don't know if it has 6, but I definitely feel like, and I'm guessing the hint is that one of these is really misquoted. But Casablanca's got a handful of them. Here's Looking at You, Kid. Play It Again, Sam. Frankly, My Dear, I Don't Give a Damn. That's from Gone with the Wind, isn't it?
Bogey didn't give a damn either, though.
He didn't. Bogey didn't give 1 damn. He probably didn't give 2 dams.
I do know that quote is number 1.
Frankly, My Dear, I Don't Give a
Yeah.
damn.
So
You find just going Casablanca?
that's fine. I'm cool with that.
Okay. We're going to go with Casablanca.
Okay, they're going with Casablanca. I think we're going with the same.
It's funny that Jeff mentions, I don't know about that one being misquoted, because he himself misquoted Casablanca, because it's Play It Sam, Play As Time Goes By is the real quote.
And this may be the start of a beautiful friendship with Louis here. So, Anne?
Yeah, it's actually Anchorman. I'm just kidding. No,
Nice.
but I wish
San
it was
Diego, which means
for me. Yeah, which means
Baxter,
for
I
me,
don't speak
Princess
Spanish.
Bride. It should be Princess Bride, in my opinion, but it is Casablanca. Number 5 is going to be Here's Looking at You, Kid. 20 is Louis. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Number 28 is Play It, Sam. Play As Time Goes By. Very good, Neal. 32 is Round Up the Usual Suspects. 43 is We'll Always Have Paris. And 67 is All of the Gin Joints in all of the towns and all of the world. She Walks Into Mine.
all right.
101
Very good,
didn't
guys.
make the top 100, which is Humphrey Bogart saying, I'm sorry, I'm constipated. It's all that food from Morocco. After 5 questions, it looks like Manadorks has 40 points, and batting perfect, Airtie Wizard Inept with 50.
Okay, so your question number 6. Name a historical event that you will always remember where you were. Your history question.
Fall of Rome.
I was going to say the JFK assassination.
Hey, teeing me up. The 1960s sucked for influential political figures. My father remembers all 4 of the major assassinations that occurred in this decade, especially Martin Luther King's. What president posthumously awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Martin Luther King? Some say as an acknowledgement to the voters who put him into office. Coretta Scott King accepted the award on her husband's behalf.
Which year was the award accepted? I'm just kidding.
That That would help.
Louis, I'm pretty confident I know which one this is. If you're okay trusting me on it.
I do.
Okay.
All right. So Kennedy was gone by the time Martin Luther King was assassinated.
11/22/63.
63.
LBJ, maybe his second term.
Possibly. I just knew he was big into civil rights.
After that, I might go all the way down to Clinton, actually.
Oh, that could be true. Yeah.
What do you think?
Clinton's a really good answer. Yeah, initially I was thinking...
The Civil Rights Act was passed under LBJ.
Yeah, maybe he didn't, because the quote about the voters helping, maybe it would make more sense for that to be Clinton, because LBJ would have passed the Civil Rights Act.
Let's go with Clinton then.
My guess, seeing as how MLK was assassinated in 1968, was that maybe LBJ did it right away. I can't imagine Nixon got a big bump. So that's what I wanted to lock in with. I don't know if that was good with you, but that's what we went with.
This one's a bit of a surprise. He had a very popular vote in Georgia and attributed it to a lot of the population of Georgia. This is Jimmy Carter.
Oh.
Went a little too far there, Neil.
Yep.
We didn't go too far enough.
Ronald Reagan actually did the MLK holiday. He's the one to enact the holiday, but Carter was the one that gave him the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Huh. Cool.
Number 7 is a sports question. Even if it costs a ton of money, what sporting event would be worth it to see? For the first time in 25 years, what 2-night event will return to Philadelphia at Lincoln Financial Field for the event's 40th anniversary? Since it will occur April 2024, I have plenty of time to not buy any tickets because they range from $600 to $7,000.
I think we can lock in.
Good.
Yeah, so in talking about it, we are completely out of our depths. We know they've been running like short track NASCAR events in really goofy places, so maybe this is a NASCAR race.
Okay.
I can't believe that they somehow pulled out the wrong answer, but
Oh, I think I just came up with it actually. Oh no.
I'm so surprised you completely forgot a sport that we talk about all the time. It's going to be WrestleMania in Philadelphia. That's what we locked in with.
Yeah. I think you needed Matt on this one. That is WrestleMania 40. Coming, it's expensive AF. Question number 8. Give me an invention you think changed the world. Your technology question. Still in use today, the living legend steam locomotive number 844 was saved in 1960 for excursion and public relations service only. Number 844 was the last of its kind, utilized by what transcontinental company founded in 1862?
No, sorry, Neil. I was like, Neil, are you a rail man?
I'm an oil man.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and lock in.
So would this be a company that kind of uses, I don't know, they'd have to use transportation to deliver certain goods? You think it's a transport company, or do you think
that was kind of my thought, is either it was something like Western Union used to actually like move money around.
Ooh, like maybe FedEx or UPS, maybe.
Yeah, maybe Federal Express.
Yeah, I think it's possible.
It's possible that they're that old.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay, we're gonna say Federal Express.
Okay. When I hear transcontinental, I just think of the railroad, and we just said Union Pacific.
Transcontinental was your big hint here. It is Union Pacific. Union Pacific. Question number 9. What is your favorite place anywhere in the world that you have visited? Your geography question. TripAdvisor lists Spike Island, the Rock of Cashel, Bru Nabanya, and Trim Castle as some of the top attractions for the east coast of what country?
All right, we're gonna lock in here.
What are you thinking, Louis?
I'm thinking that if we're specifying the East Coast, that this country also has a West Coast.
It's a good start.
Or North Coast or South Coast.
There could be. Yeah,
I
wow.
think it might
That
have
opens up
all
a
of the
ton.
above, because I think this might be Ireland.
Ooh, I like that answer a lot. Now that I'm looking at
Bruna
maybe the
Bonnier.
pronunciation. Yeah,
Yeah.
how it's spelled maybe. Yeah. I like that. I like that answer.
I think we're gonna go with Ireland.
Yeah, we were kind of along the same lines as you guys, but just due to the association with Iron Brew, we went with Scotland instead.
It was really hard for me not to go Brune Banya. But it is Ireland. Ireland is your
nice.
answer here.
Good answer.
Question number 10. What is your favorite tree or plant? Your science question. Of the 3 species known as redwoods, which is the shortest, still growing to almost 50 meters in height? In 1940, the discovery of this tree captivated the world, as only fossils of it were ever found in North America prior, and the tree was thought to be extinct.
Well, I was unaware that there are 3 species of redwoods, but only one word's coming to mind, so we're just going to lock in with it.
All right, Louis. You seem like a man who knows his way around some redwoods.
You know, I grew up around trees being in Vermont, and I know that they're very similar to stoplights where you have the green woods, you've got the yellow woods, and you got the redwoods. And I believe, actually, no, I'm kidding. Those are the 3 species as far as I know. Just kidding. I don't know. I know there's a lot of redwoods in California. So do you think like California redwood would be a species? I don't know if you have anything else.
So I think they're all something sequoia. I can't remember what the small one is, though. We'll say micro sequoia.
Makes sense.
All right.
I'm okay with
Well,
that.
we just said sequoia.
Not a bad guess. It is part of their genus. So there are 3 types of redwoods. The Sequoia sempervirens is the coast redwood. The Sequoia dendron giganteum is the giant sequoia. And then the third one is the metasequoia, or the dawn redwood. The dawn redwood is the smallest one. The more you know.
After learning a lot about sequoias and redwoods, looks like the scores are still pretty tight. Mana Dorks picking up 10 points that second half, bringing their total to 50. And Airtie, Wizard, Inept picking up 20 points, bringing our total to 70. So before we get into the swing round, just want to say a quick thank you to all of our patrons. If you are listening to this as not a patron right now, just a reminder that every month we are doing extra bonus episodes of straight trivia, 10 questions from each of us. So that's one bonus Patreon episode every week. So 1 week it'll be Ken, 1 it'll be Jeff, Matt, myself, and then you'll get your crop drop. So that's 4 episodes every month on Patreon exclusively, an extra 30 questions plus the crop drop. So if you'd like to join all the folks that help support the show that helped make that happen, as well as get all of your episodes early and ad-free, the newest episodes that is, you can go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. What do we have in store for today, Anne?
Okay, for your swing round, still along with the theme, both Grant and Bob are jack of all trades, partaking in many, many hobbies throughout the years. So halftime is going to be a mix of various hobbies that have crossed one or both of their weekend activities. So there's 10 questions looking for a single answer to each. So number 1, originally a training exercise for land navigation for military officers, the oldest formal version of what sport originating in 19th century Sweden involves control points, a timed race, and most importantly, a compass. Number 2, the Resurrection Cemetery in Justice, Illinois is home to what Guinness Book World Record item spanning over 22,000 square feet in area. It features the Dalle de Verre technique and was originally constructed by Pixel Studio. It is extremely odd that the largest version of this is in Illinois and not in Paris or Rome. Number 3, originating from the Greek words for beauty and right, what ancient art form has been around almost 4,000 years? Our Western version has two main styles, serif and sans serif. Question number 4. May 2nd, 2000 is regarded as the Big Blue Switch Day, an annual holiday for participants in what activity? It has its very own mascot named Signal the Frog. Question number 5. On every vacation, Grant searches for what kind of commemorative tchotchke to add to his collection. Most notably, they have been featured in the opening of Citizen Kane and the closing of St. Elsewhere.
This whole podcast has just been in Jeff's imagination.
Or his wheelhouse. Who knows? Number 6. The top brands to buy when partaking in what hobby would be Bernat, Red Heart, Karen, and Vanna White's Lion brand Vanna's Choice, because Vanna is hooked on this pastime. Question number 7. The PSUPA is an international organization promoting safe and effective instruction while providing certification to teach and compete in races across the globe in what sporting activity? We could potentially see Olympic competition in Los Angeles 2028. Question number 8. A pedigree chart is one of the most common ways to display one research if you partake in what hobby? Defined as the study of family history. And it's the reason why I know I'm related to 13 presidents. Question number 9. Bob can only play one instrument well, and as expected, it's weird. What folk instrument, typically with 3 or 4 strings and originating from the Appalachian region of the United States, was played by Joni Mitchell on the album Blue, as well as in her live concerts? Question number 10. Florida has a lot of heritage festivals celebrating the 19th century homestead and Florida crackers. Bob is a staple presenter at these festivals, seen using a rope cinch, twine, and sorghum to demonstrate how to make what handmade item. While some purchase these items for decoration more than use, a lot of his attendees are Wiccans.
Okay, we have our questions. We'll be right back after this break and find out the answers.
Hey guys, before we get to the swing round, Matt, you have a new form of trivia that sounds pretty awesome. Why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah, so I've been playing a lot of trivia. You know, we record all this trivia, and we kept thinking, what if there was more trivia? Would you guys be open to doing more trivia, possibly?
We should always be open to doing more trivia. I feel like we don't play enough of it, actually. So what do you have for us?
Yeah, so our old friends at Geeks Who Drink, they came out with a new game. It's called Thrice. It's kind of like your daily Wordle, but trivia related. Basically, you get 3 clues to get 1 answer, and there's 5 different games. You could play it at thrice.geekswhodrink.com. I have a little sample if you guys want to play a round or two.
Sounds great.
All right. This one is in the category of food and drink. With a distinctively fruity shape, the world's largest maze is owned by what food company?
Distinctive shape. So it's got to be a famous logo, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know why I'm thinking it's like Snoopy's head. From
That's not a very fruity shape, yeah.
I don't know. Is
Knott's Berry Farm, Matt?
Knott's Berry Farm? Maybe Ocean Spray, or was it Ocean Mist, or whatever they're called?
Ocean Spray. Yeah,
Ocean Spray.
Cranberry. What?
And it's the shape of that guy riding his skateboard.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's guess Ocean Spray. It's probably not right. But the good news is you get more clues. So question for the 2 points. After the 1893 overthrow of the Hawaiian monarchy, the new president was a scion of what fruit empire?
So I believe this is, well, I'm assuming they're asking about the fruit. So my guess would be pineapple.
Oh, pineapple. I like that. Yeah, let's lock that in.
All right, let's see if we can get 2 points here.
I think that was the Dole family.
It looks like no. It says, but you did just say the answer because you're looking for the company. If you can't afford a Disney trip, what company's website has recipe for its pineapple and banana whips?
Oh, Dole.
Yes, of the Bob Dole family, I believe, right?
I don't know if they're related, but
It's possible. For 1 point, it was Dole. So yeah, the way it works, the more clues you get, the less points you earn, and you're trying to get the most points. So we'll do one more, just, for example, for everyone to try. This one is in Science and Nature. Alexander von Humboldt gave what poetic Greek name to his 19th century treatise on the whole universe?
The treatise. I think it's just treatise, Matt.
I believe so.
Like Fragile, treatise.
Treatise. Neil, what do you think about Cosmos?
I like Cosmos. Makes me
Sounds
think of the
Greek.
Yeah, makes me think of the TV show.
Makes me think of the drink.
Or the drink. Yeah, let's go Cosmos or Cosmos.
Or Kramer.
And Kramer.
Because everything's best in threes.
That's right.
All right. Well, you got 3 points there. That was correct. It was Cosmos.
Awesome. Yeah, this is really fun. So I love that you get 3 different times to basically, get a correct answer. So if you feel really dumb one day, at least you'll still get points at the end of it. If you have to go all the way to the 1 point question.
Yeah, and it's fun to play around with your friends. You can try to beat each other's score, same kind of thing. So if you guys want to play, go to thrice.geekswhodrink.com and you can play along. Share with us on our socials your scores. Let's see if we can beat you.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, thrice.geekswhodrink.com. And thanks to all of our friends at Geeks Who Drink. We love the trivia you do over there. So hopefully we can keep doing more of it with Thrice.
And we're back. We have our answers locked in. Let's go ahead and hear the questions one more time and see how we did.
Okay, for a 10-question swing round. Number 1, originally a training exercise for land navigation for military officers. What sport involves control points, timed race, and most importantly, a compass?
We said geocaching.
We did not. What did we say, Louie?
We went with cross-country skiing, but Jeff, you did mention that. So it's funny that it's this answer instead.
And it is interesting how much you guys do retain about your patrons. It's kind of amazing because Jeff mentioned geocaching. You guys know that I love geocaching. Unfortunately, geocaching is not the answer for this one. Have you heard of orienteering?
No.
Yes, I have. Yes. And now I know what it is.
Yeah. So, orient the map to find out where you're going. My dad is actually the president of the Florida chapter of orienteering for the last 30 years. He invented the sport in the state because we're a very flat state and it's kind of boring to do in Florida, but darn it, he's done it for 30 years.
More threat of alligator attack than other states, though.
Exactly.
So
Very true. And snakes.
And snakes.
And bath salts.
Yep, all everywhere. Question number 2. The Resurrection Cemetery in Justice, Illinois features the largest of this Guinness Book World Record item at 22,000 square feet. It's kind of odd that this is in Illinois and not in Paris or Rome.
Yeah, this one, if you live in the Midwest, especially in Chicagoland area, you know about Resurrection Mary, the famous ghost of Resurrection Cemetery. But I know they have a giant stained glass window. I've never seen it, but I know that it's there, and that's what we said it was.
We were thinking about Fall Out Boy and how we would lie in the grass next to the mausoleum. So that's what we said. We said mausoleum.
I'm so glad you made that joke because I was going to do it.
So Resurrection Cemetery in Justice, Illinois has a giant mausoleum, and the entire first floor of that mausoleum is 22,000 square feet, and it is all stained glass. And that is Grant's number 1 hobby that takes up half my house.
Mausoleums?
So, yeah, mausoleums. He builds them with his brain.
You are the friction in my jeans, Jeff, though.
Just waiting for that one.
That's not messed up.
Question number 3. Greek words for beauty and right. Our Western version has 2 main styles, serif and sans serif.
We said calligraphy.
Yep, and we also said calligraphy.
Calligraphy is correct. This is my father's go-to wedding present. He just does calligraphy certificates. They're very cool. Number 4, May 2nd, 2000 is regarded as the Big Blue Switch Day, an annual holiday for participants in what activity with its very own mascot named Signal the Frog?
Just took a stab on this one from my experience working with theater actors. We thought this is the only type of radio they enjoy. We said ham radio.
Oh, that's an interesting guess. We said that if you have a signal frog, maybe you're, at a traffic stop. We said jaywalking.
Nice. Yeah, the big blue switch is in NASA when they flipped the signal on for GPS.
Oh.
This is geocaching.
Oh.
This is geocaching.
Makes an appearance.
And real quick, the way that Grant proposed was a 10-hour geocache of where he took us to all different locations that we've had throughout our relationship until the final where he hid the ring. So it was,
cute.
That's awesome.
It was a long thing.
Was he with you, or was he in the final box and you popped it open and he was there?
He was. I had to dig him up from underground.
Just this little straw poking out of the ground so he could breathe.
Was the ring in the geocache?
No, he had it on him, but the clue led. Yeah, all that.
Just in case.
Could you imagine if someone else got there first? It's like, whoa.
Could have been bad. But yeah, I know I've bonded with other geocachers on the podcast, so hopefully they'll find that cool.
That's very cool.
Question number 5. On every vacation, Grant searches for what kind of tchotchke?
We said snow globe.
Yeah, good luck. I ran all around Japan to try and find one of these freaking things because my brother also collects snow globes.
Really? That's cool. I thought this was an odd hobby, but yes, it is. It is the thing that drops and shatters on the ground out of Citizen Kane's hand. That's going to be a snow globe. Question number 6. The top brands to buy when partaking in what hobby includes Vanna White's Lion brand Vanna's Choice, because she's hooked on this pastime.
Yeah, a lot of listeners who are maybe over 80 or so like to call our show this. But I just know from social media, we said it's a good yarn. So we said yarn.
I thought Vanna was hooked on phonics, but Louie corrected me. What is Vanna's hobby?
I knew she was hooked on crocheting, but I know like her yarn can also be used for knitting and stuff. It was either that or fishing with the hook clue.
Yeah, with hooked, we definitely went crochet.
Crochet, yep.
I tried to throw in the hook there to hope that you would put crochet. I would have accepted knitting, and I will leave it up to you gentlemen to decide if you're going to accept yarn.
I don't think we can. We didn't accept mausoleum earlier, so.
That's because it was incorrect.
So was yarn, because yarn is not a hobby.
Yeah, but there's a follow-up.
Oh, I didn't see the word hobby. I just know they sell Vanna White yarn, Vanna's Choice yarn.
Whatever. Okay, fine. If we can know everything about the question and get it wrong, that's fine. We'll remember it for later.
We never forget. Airtie Wizard and Neps don't forget.
You didn't know everything about the question because you missed the part where it says, in bold, what hobby?
Okay.
Well, that was a delightful yarn. Question number 7. The PSUPA is an international organization on what sporting activity we could potentially see the Olympic competition in 2028.
We said paddleboarding.
Interesting. So we ended up seeing an SU and an A in there, and we just kind of went with scuba.
The Professional Stand-Up Paddle Boarding Association.
Wow.
And that is paddle boarding.
Wow.
See, we had to knock you down a peg because we're getting beaten otherwise. So,
do you think the S is silent, so it's poopa, or is it, you think the P is silent, or?
Sounds like the sound you make to attract a cat. Psst, 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 psst.
Yeah. Tell your cat I said hey. Question 8. A pedigree chart is one of the most common ways to display one research, and it's how I know I'm related to 13 presidents. That is true.
We just said ancestry.
Yep, and we said something similar. We said ancestry or genealogy, and it's funny because I am also related to a president, just not of this country. So.
Oh.
I think I'm just related to every OG white man, really. And that checked
Are they
off
the good ones?
13. The Adams are good ones, but then there's also the Bushes. So I kind of even out.
Well, yeah, I was going to say if you just hit presidents who have family origins in Massachusetts, yeah.
Yep. That's the majority.
That's your list.
I was looking for genealogy, but I personally think ancestry is an absolutely acceptable answer.
All right.
Question number 9. Bob can only play one instrument well, and it's weird. What folk instrument comes from the Appalachian region of the U.S. and was played by Joni Mitchell on the album Blue?
We considered banjo. I'm not sure if that always has 4 strings, so we're going to go with mandolin, actually.
Great guess.
Ooh, yeah, that is interesting. So my wife is a music teacher, and we actually collect weird music instruments, and we have like 5 different stringed instruments on our wall right now, and none of them have 4 strings except for the ukulele. But we know that this is probably not a ukulele originating in the Appalachian region. We ended up going with banjo.
Banjo is a good answer. This one's a little bit weirder. I don't know if either of you have heard of a dulcimer.
Yes.
Have heard of it, yes. Do not own one.
Is it of the hammered variety?
No, I don't think, because he like made all of them.
He sounds like a very industrious man.
He's a cool dude. Question number 10. Florida has a lot of heritage festivals that celebrate the 19th century homestead. Bob is out there using a rope, cinch, twine, and sorghum to demonstrate what handmade item? A lot of his attendees are Wiccans.
Based on the Wiccan thing and the sorghum thing, we're going to say wreath. Because I know sorghum can be like a flower. And so maybe that's for like the snow on the wreath. Anyways.
Or me after a visit to our friend Taylor.
I think we were circling something similar, but altogether different. Louis, what did we lock in with?
Yeah, we were thinking maybe with those ingredients, maybe these would be something like dream catchers, possibly.
Great guesses on both of them. The rope cinch will tighten the sorghum, which almost looks like wheat, but its common name is broom corn. And he just makes like old school witchy looking brooms with like braided tops. So they're very popular for people that want them for decoration or for weekend Wiccan meetings, I guess. Those are the 2 things.
After that great swing round, it looks like Mana Dorks picking up 20 points, bringing their total to 70, and Airtie Wizard Inept picking up 25 points, bringing our total to 95.
Okay. So rolling into the second half, it will be the similar questions that I had in the first half. It's just the other person answered them. So number 1 of the second half, what is the novel you could read more than once or you have read? Your literature question. Sex, Drugs, and Cocoa Puffs, a collection of 18 comedic essays on popular culture written in 2003, including subjects like Being Zach Morris, an analysis of Saved by the Bell, This is Emo, and Toby over Moby, How the Dixie Chicks Are the New Van Halen, was written by what columnist for Esquire, The New York Times, and ESPN.com?
Louis, we can lock in.
So they have a quick lock-in over here. This author has a book out right now that looks really cool about the 90s, just like a blanket 90s book. But I believe it's Chuck Klosterman.
We agree. We said Chuck Klosterman.
And the 90s is a fabulous book. I did the audiobook and I loved it. It's Chuck Klosterman. Question number 2. Even if it cost a ton of money, what sporting event would be worth it to see? Your sports question. On September 9th, 1965, what pitcher became the first southpaw to throw a perfect game, as well as the first to do it at night? Vin Scully was silent after the last strike for 38 seconds as radio listeners could hear the crowd roar.
I think I have an idea on my baseball knowledge, Ken. I can lock in for us.
Sounds good.
So if it was Vin Scully, I'm guessing this was maybe a Dodgers pitcher.
Okay, yeah, I'm good with that. Do you know any Dodgers pitchers?
No.
Yeah.
Why would that come in handy?
Yeah.
Sandy Koufax a pitcher? It feels
sounds
something about that feels
that's like
right
a pitcher
to me.
name. That's like a pitcher
Yeah.
name to me. So
Let's go with Sandy Koufax.
Yeah,
let's do it.
all right. I think it's Sandy Koufax. He's probably the most famous Dodger pitcher. So yeah, that's what we locked in with.
Nice.
Sandy Koufax is correct. Good job, Jeff.
Nice poll.
Question number 3, have an open menu. What drink do you order? Your food and drink question. What spirit produced by distilling wine has popular brands including Corbel, Paul Mason, and Christian Brothers. It comes in traditional age grading systems and is also part of the Wisconsin State Cocktail.
All right. Well, Neal, we know Paul Masson from the famous Orson Welles commercial.
And how does it go?
The French champagne.
Ah.
But I don't think champagne is distilled wine.
I don't think it is either, but let me say this. I've seen Corbel before, and I've seen it at a store, and it was champagne, but maybe it's like cheap Wisconsin champagne.
But don't you think these companies can do other things?
It's possible. They could do like brandy or something.
The distillation gives it the carbonation.
Maybe they take a white wine, they distill it, give it carbonation, they say it's champagne when it's not really from the region of France.
I was thinking like more of a port or a sherry or something like that. But if you want to go champagne,
yeah, let's go champagne.
The French champagne.
So I'm pretty sure I've had like Corbel, like non-alcoholic champagnes for a, occasion or two. So I know they make champagne. I know Paul Masson makes champagne, as the gentleman in the studio have alluded to. We've brought that commercial up several times on the show. So I think champagne is our best bet here.
Just say anything.
I led you all astray with the brand names.
Oh, no.
Wisconsin State's Cocktail is an old fashioned, but they specifically make it with brandy. It's a brandy old fashioned.
Okay.
So that's what brandy is.
So
Not
brandy's
just a
actually
fine girl.
Brandy's actually there making the drinks.
I should have put a Looking Glass reference. Darn it, Jeff! You give me the great, the great thoughts now.
I'll include that on my playtest list.
Thank you. Question number 4. What is a movie you can or have watched over and over? Your film question.
Caligula.
Orange County.
Hot take. This is a hot take. Personally, I think the real hero of what 1994 comedy film was not magic. It was the Jack Russell Terrier Milo, who not only breaks his owner out of jail, but fights a group of armed men multiple times and makes sure the coveted MacGuffin does not fall into the wrong hands by swimming off into the abyss with it during the finale.
Is this Dumb and Dumber? Or some... I love... Neal, what are you doing back there? It's like audibly like groaning every time I'm onto something. So, since I said Dumb and Dumber and Neal got upset, I almost just want to not think about it and lock it in.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
He got
him. He got him.
That's the difference you carry. Oh no! It's the mask.
Oh no!
He got him.
Ah, French champagne.
Got him. Got his ass.
We locked in with the mask.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing down there? Just looking for my mask.
Looking for my mask.
But really, though, he watches his dog jump off a bridge. The dog swims, catches the mask, and just swims away. And nobody cares that this dog is in, like, the Hudson or something. Just swimming away. And officers always fall asleep in jail, too. That just seems to be a very movie trope thing. But it's the mask. This movie is fabulous. You were on the right track with Jim Carrey. It was in your brain.
Took the bait.
I'm sorry I had to do that to you, Louie, on this beautiful day of yours. But
Neal was just whipping around the fly fish pole.
You can take nothing away from
Jeff
him.
just jumped right out of the water and grabbed it.
Well, when he's doing it like Brad Pitt and a river runs through it.
oh, thank you.
Good reference there.
Very good. Question number 5. Is there any band or artist that would put out new music you would be inclined to purchase? Your music question. What 46-year-old American blues rock artist and avid guitar collector, whose last album was Now Serving Royalty Live from the Ryman in 2021, has been nominated for 3 Grammy Awards for his blues albums, had 11 number 1 hits on the Billboard Blues charts, and in 2020 he started his own record label, Keeping the Blues Alive Records.
Yep, Jeff, I've got kind of an idea of, like, maybe a guess. I don't know if you have any strong inclinations.
I don't. I'm just trying to think. So they would be someone born in the mid-late 1970s, right?
Right.
So what was your inclination?
I don't know. I think the guitar collection kind of thing, and then multiple Grammys. I don't know. what flashed in my mind was John Mayer. At first, I know that he mixes with a couple different genres, and I know he's big into guitars, but I know he's not solely a blues artist. This would all be new info for me if this was all true, but he's kind of the only person I could really think of.
I buy that. I totally buy that. He could be like 46. Definitely a blues rock artist. Yeah, John Mayer sounds like a reasonable guess.
We're thinking about John Mayer. We were also thinking about Jack White, and we went with
John Mayer, and we signed an NDA.
This is my dad's one. So he went with Joe Bonamassa. Joe Bonamassa is a blues artist that's a little more unknown, I think, than John Mayer, but he's very good at guitar. Really, really good.
We'll have to check him out. Never heard of him before, but speaking of checking things out, let's check out these scores. Manadork's picking up 20 points, bringing their total to 90, almost at 100, and Airtie, Wizard, Inept picking up 30, eclipsing 100 to 125.
All right, in the home stretch. Question number 6. Name a historical event you will always remember where you were, your history question. In 2019, months before it was set to expire, and after years of funding disputes with Congress, the 9/11 Victim Compensation Fund was extended to 2092. What television host was a staunch advocate for the bill, publicly criticizing and testifying in front of Congress for years, often citing the hypocrisy of the phrase, never forget, in order to ensure the veterans received proper health support?
I'm good to lock in on this, Jeff.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, Louis is good. Jeff's good. Do we think this is Jon Stewart?
I think so. That was what I wrote down.
All right, I'd vote for him. Jon Stewart.
Do we agree this is somebody who's too political for Apple TV?
I definitely agree. Yep, Jon Stewart.
I'd also vote for him. It's Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart is the correct answer.
What'd they think they were getting?
The star of Big Daddy. The supporting star of Big Daddy.
I forgot about that.
I didn't. I was trying to think of who's the new boyfriend, the old guy.
Oh, those old balls.
Oh, yeah.
The old balls were the real star of that movie.
Cool. On that note, question number 7. Name a TV show that reminds you of your childhood. Every Friday night, Bob's Little League team had to ensure they were finished before 8 p.m. to watch the 5th longest running American television Western set in the rowdy 1860s that kept rolling for 8 seasons. What was the name of this black and white classic?
My uncle used to watch this on reruns.
So you're locked in?
Yeah.
I think the rollin' gave us a good clue, right?
I think so. I think Clint Eastwood is smirking at us from somewhere. We said Rawhide.
We said roll them up, or whatever the stupid thing they played on the Walmart ads was. We said Rawhide.
Do we have a little like whip sound effect? Like there. Ooh, that was very good. Rawhide.
You've been practicing.
Yeah.
I don't use real whips. I just use it with my mouth.
Yeah, your impersonation. Oh, they're just so good. Rawhide is your answer. Question number 8. What is your favorite place anywhere in the world that you've visited? The name Y East has been associated with what site for almost a century? It is not the on-location setting for Leprechaun 5, but it does contain the only year-round lift-served skiing in North America and is the 4th highest point in the Cascade Mountain Range.
I think we're just going to
have to tap on that one.
Tap out, yeah.
All right, Neal, where did Leprechaun 5 take place?
I think it was into Hood.
Okay, so combining Hood with the mountain, we're saying Mount Hood.
Oh, jeez.
Famous mountain.
Perfect deduction of the rapping leprechaun from Leprechaun 5 in Into Hood. It is indeed Mount Hood. The Cascades are on the west coast. But that's the only year-round skiing.
Yeah. That's a good clue, and that gets great notes with my playtest notes. So, great clue.
If you're a fan of Jennifer Aniston, Louis, you can check out the first Leprechaun for one of her early roles.
Oh, really?
Question number 9. What is your favorite tree or plant? Your science question. Sometimes confused with the wild carrot plant. Its genus is Greek for spin or whirl, alluding to the dizzying effects of the plant's poison after ingestion. And it's been used to punish those who corrupted the young minds in Athens, 399 BC.
We're going to lock in.
All right, Louie, pretty sure that Socrates was made to drink hemlock, and he was convicted of corrupting the youth in Athens, so I think it's hemlock. And much like Socrates, after we lose this game, I too will have an apology.
We also locked in with hemlock.
Now, my dad apparently meant the tree, but I don't know how to write a clue towards the tree. So it is indeed hemlock. Hemlock. It can be a plant that looks kind of like Queen Anne's lace or the tree, the hemlock tree. Question 10. Give me an invention you think changed the world. Your technology question. Gutenberg, the musical, is currently playing at the James Earl Jones Theater on Broadway. The piece focuses on two earnest but clueless theater composers presenting a highly inaccurate musical about the life of Johann Gutenberg and the invention of the printing press. What two lead Book of Mormon original cast members are currently starring in this show?
We can lock in.
We can also lock in.
Ooh,
Sweet.
Luis Forte.
Yeah.
What do you have?
Yeah, it is. So we saw Book of Mormon on our kind of mini honeymoon, but we didn't see the original cast, unfortunately. But we did know that it was Josh Gad and Andrew Rannells, I think is his name.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see the show. Kylie and I have been wanting to see it. There's a lot of celebrity guests every showing, so we said, yeah, Andrew Rannells and Josh Gad.
I saw it its first week on Broadway, and it is phenomenal because I always said I would kill to see the original cast of Book of Mormon, honestly, and it is indeed Josh Gad and Andrew Rannells. It's hilarious, and it's just the two of them, honestly, the whole time. It's amazing.
At the end of regulation, Mana Dorks picking up an extra 40 points, bringing their total to 130. And Airtie Wizard Inept picking up 50 points, bringing their total to 175.
Man.
So pretty good scores going into the final. Before we go over there, one more reminder, please do check out our Patreon. We are now offering weekly bonus episodes, weekly. And you get access to the whole backlog if you sign up for our Patreon.
Yep, and it's all going to be written by us. We don't get a chance to host too much because we want to invite as many people as we can on the show, but you get Ken questions, Neal questions, Jeff questions, and Matt questions, what can be better than that?
Yep, and as always, our normal hijinks and joking around, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so look forward to those in this new year. Let's go to the final round. What are our categories?
So the final round, I'm back to me. The final round will be more focused on things that I think are cool. When I was a kid, my friends and I would make our own categories because we were nerds. And one of them was like a rotating category that said things blank thinks are cool but aren't. So the categories are going to be things Anne's thinks are cool but probably aren't. And they're going to be travel, Olympics, trivia podcasts, theme parks, and things to do with your hands.
The wagers are now locked in. Let's go ahead and get the questions.
Question number 1 in travel. I feel like everyone who travels typically has their go-to thing they want to do or see in a new place. Mine is probably considered an unpopular option by most, but I think they are some of the most beautiful places you can see. I visited Greyfriars Kirkland in Scotland, Père Lachaise in Paris, and when I return to Japan, I would like to see Okinawa. What are these locations? Question number 2 in the Olympics. My favorite Olympic sport debuted in the Games in 1998, but was invented on Scottish ponds in the 16th century. This sport has been dominated by Canada and Sweden throughout the years. The US has only won 2 medals. In 2018, it was very exciting. It is ultimately a game of physics, and I find that very sexy. Question number 3, trivia podcasts. Triviality has had many guest appearances by questionable characters throughout the years. Ken McNeal, the most famous being Dutch Boy, in my opinion. One I would really like to return is what morning traffic DJ that was canceled in 2010 for something he said in 1987. But Ken hate listens to his trench coat Thursdays anyway. Question number 4, theme parks. I had a dark phase in my 20s running over 15 Disney races and attending a theme park once a month because I grew up outside of Orlando. I believe theme park lovers have a wide range in favorite rides. Mine is rooted in nostalgia and a sick fascination. As a kid, I loved the fantastical and original recreation of a Kenneth Grahame novel. As an adult, I find this ride hilarious and horrific. What ride am I referring to that is now sadly unique to only Disneyland? Number 5, things to do with your hands. My reality TV guilty pleasure mostly revolves around cooking, led by the Great British Bake Off. The Great British Bake Off had a spin-off show based on what art form that I am anxiously awaiting a season 6 to drop on HBO so I can see those sweet, sweet Keith Brymer tears over contestants' Reiku.
All right, we have our questions, and we'll be right back with our answers after this break. And we are back with our answers. Great questions from Anne today. Let's go ahead and get the recaps really quick, and we will give our answers. See who wins.
Your travel question. Visited Greyfriars Kirkland in Scotland, Père Lachaise in Paris, and when I returned to Japan, Okinawa, I would like to visit as well. What are these locations?
Yep, we went 30 all the way down, and for this one we said cemetery.
Yep, we had 30 on this one as well, and same idea. We said grave sites or cemeteries.
They are cemeteries. Greyfriars Kirkland is the dog statue that you rub his little nose because he was waiting for his owner forever right outside of that cemetery. That's really sweet. Question number 2, in Olympics. My favorite Olympic sport is all about physics, and I find that very sexy.
Well, for another 30 points, we remember the 2018, I think you said, was a big year, and we said curling.
Yep. So we saw that it was kind of gravity based or physics based, and but we bet 0 on this one. We also said curling.
So invented on Scottish ponds, they happen to be frozen in the 16th century. That sport is curling. Trivia podcasts. We had fun with this one. Triviality, many guest appearances. Dutch Boy is the best. But one I would like to see return is what morning traffic DJ that was canceled in 2010 for something he said in 1987. But Ken hate listens to his trench coat Thursdays anyway.
You guys couldn't come up with the answer?
I think we're losing 30 on this.
So you're losing 30. Well, welcome back to the 9 to 5 with Dick Gutley.
You
That's
Dick
it.
Gutley.
Oh my God, Dick Gutley. That's absolutely. Oh. It's so funny. We hear the category. It's like trivia podcast, and Jeff and I were like, "Yeah, we know trivia podcast." Little did we know it was going to be about this trivia podcast.
I still wouldn't know the answer.
How could I forget Dick Gutley?
Dick Gutley. Yeah, I think Neal made a weird noise, like a and Ken was like, "You all right over there, Dick Gutley?"
Dick
Fucking
Gutley.
return of Dick Gutley over here.
The true definition of a shock jock.
Yeah.
I'm back after a long cancellation. They couldn't keep me down.
Literally.
Oh, good one. Your theme park, rolling right into theme parks. I believe theme park lovers have a wide range in favorite rides. Mine's rooted in nostalgia and sick fascination. What ride am I referring to that's now sadly unique to only Disneyland?
Yeah, I was sad to see this was changed to Winnie the Pooh. Although Winnie the Pooh is fine. But for 30 points, we said Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
We agree. 30 points. We said Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Based on the Kenneth Grahame novel Wind in the Willows, this ride has you get in a car, go through his house, go to a bar, get drunk, then hit a train, and go to hell at the end of it. And literally the ride ends with little like devils waving at you. And that is Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. It's just, it's wild.
I used to like it as a kid myself, so
It's
I'm with you.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Number 5, things to do with your hands. Reality guilty pleasure mostly revolves around cooking, especially the Great British Bake Off. They had a spin-off that I'm waiting for season 6 on HBO so I can see Keith Brymer's tears over the contestants' Raku. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, if you're in Canada, you're going to see Seth Rogen guest host their version of this show. We locked in the Great Pottery Throwdown. We said pottery.
Yep. And we were along the same lines. I think HBO Max is one of the few streaming services I have, and I get ads for this constantly. And so we agreed it was pottery.
It is pottery, and Neal just made my night that Seth Rogen is hosting a Canadian version. I am extremely excited to see that.
Yeah, he has his own pottery company for adult pharmaceuticals, I guess you call it. But
yeah, he's really good.
They do look really, really
good.
nice. After the scores have been tabulated, it looks like Mana Dorks only able to pick up 60 points in that final round, bringing their total to 190, almost at 200.
You're all tapped out.
All tapped out, just like Dick Gutley after a bender. But looks like getting 150 points in the final is Airtie Wizard Inept, bringing our total to 325, making us today's cream of the crop.
The cream of the crop.
Wow.
Yeah,
well done,
that
gentlemen.
was right down the plate.
Yeah, that was great for us. Good questions, good wheelhouse questions for us. And I feel bad, too, because it's such a wonderful, joyous day for Louie, and we had to take him down.
We had to beat him down a little bit.
Beat him down just a little bit to toughen him up before he's a father.
Right, it's all downhill from here, right? So,
well, let's say goodbye to Louie now, sadly. But any final statements for the day?
Yeah, no, I just appreciate you guys having me on, and I appreciate the huge announcement that happened on this podcast. This is gonna go to the top of my Spotify playlist as one of my favorite episodes, I'm sure.
I know, I can't believe Dick Gutley returned either.
Yeah, this is huge. But just a couple shout outs. So first to the Discord, we have over 500 people on there now. So I'm a moderator on there. You guys can reach me on there. I think I was Louie Grand Playtester. I'm now Playtest Pro. I thought Grand Playtester sounded a little pretentious. So I demoted myself to Playtest Pro. And I think the only other shout out I have is for my wife, because I think the first time I was on the podcast, we had just moved in together. The second time I was on the podcast, we had just gotten engaged. And now it's I think the third time it's married, bought a house, and now expecting. So we've kind of grown with the podcast. So I think this has been quite the ride, quite the years.
Congrats to you, Louie. So happy you could join us, and you're so important to the podcast as well. All the help you give us. So we really appreciate you, and also we appreciate Anne. Thank you so much for joining us. Great game today.
Thank you. It was fun to try and take a different approach to write questions. And I got to make my dad and my partner feel very special.
Yeah.
So that was great.
And besides those two great guys, any other shout outs you want to give?
No, I mean, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for allowing me to have a really fun night and hanging out with you and doing this trivia game again. It is a blast. I can't really follow Louie because it's an honor to meet him in person, and I second the Discord is awesome to follow. Being a patron is awesome. I listen to I listen to a lot of trivia podcasts, and this is the one that Grant always says just feels like home. So I mean, you guys are the best, and I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. And Louie, I want to give you the floor very quickly before we go. We don't normally get a chance to do this, but can you give one message to your baby that's going to be coming that maybe they can listen to in 10 years and you can see if it stood up?
Oh boy. Yeah, definitely subscribe to their Patreon. I'm at
first get a job.
I'm at the $5 level. So, if you wanted to surpass dear old dad, go above the $5 level. I've learned so much from this podcast. It's better than a college education financially. I'm kidding. Stay in school. But But no, I'm this is a ton of fun, and I hope that kind of our future offspring will also have a love of trivia. So no, this is excellent. No, I really appreciate this.
Of course.
Well, now your kid knows their origin story of why they're named Dick Gutley.
Or Ken McNeal.
Or
Lots
Ken
of names,
McNeal.
a lot of name choices. Middle name's
Well,
Gutley.
hopefully it's not just Dutch boy.
Could be this is my girl, my daughter, Dick Gutley.
Denise Gutley. Anyways, one final shout out before we leave for the day. We want to thank Airwave Media, our network. You can find them at airwavemedia.com and check out other great shows such as A Mindful Moment, I Know What Scares You, and The Team House.
Well, that's going to be it for today. For Ken, Jeff, Matt, Louie, and Anne, my name is Neal, and why don't you take us out for Trenchcoat Thursdays, Dick Gutley.
That was Triviality.